Hey all, I'm your host Michael and welcome back to Awful Stories. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to leave the video a like and consider subscribing if you're new. With that said, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Klutzy Letterhead in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I asked my husband for a divorce because he blames his financial incompetence on my lack of employment." I'm going to keep this short and sweet. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. Prior to us getting married, I had my own business and was doing great for myself. My husband is in the military. When we got married, he encouraged me to give up my business and be a stay-at-home mom, which I was fine with. The problem is now we can't afford the bills. He pays for the 2 vehicles we have, insurance, his phone bill, groceries, and gas. We live on base, so we don't pay utilities and BAH covers our home. He claims I need to get a job because we again can't afford the bills. Our bills total out to about $1,200 a month. He makes about $2,800 a month, and I was confused because he makes more than enough. My car payment is now 5 months behind, and he's claiming the financial stress is due to me being a stay-at-home mom. I had started looking at our bank account, which I've never checked it before, and that's on me. I found out that he eats out every single day and spends hundreds of dollars a month on sports betting sites and Steam purchases. We have had the same argument for months, and he just won't stop gambling and eating out. He was spending so much that he started taking out cash advances in his name and my name, and that's what's keeping us in a hole at this point. My credit is ruined, and I'm not okay with being the scapegoat because he can't stop spending money. It's been about 2 months since my original post, and I wanted to provide an update for those asking. Since my original post, a lot has happened. I visited my family for Thanksgiving, and when I got back, he told me I needed to get a job. I worked on finding one, but because I wasn't hired within a week, all hell broke loose. He started speaking to me in a way he never had before. He's degrading me, insulting me, weaponizing past traumas against me, etc. I told him finally that I was done and wanted a divorce, and this infuriated him. For days, he recorded me in my own home, followed me around insulting me and calling me awful names. He would call his best friend and yell insults about me, sitting there and degrading me in front of our children. He would approach me and antagonize me continuously until I finally had enough and told him to leave me alone. He told me he didn't have to do anything since it was his house and started screaming at me even more. He then repeatedly told me that he would be taking my children from me, that I would never see them again, and that the courts would side with him because I had already given up one child. I have an open adoption because I had a child at a very young age and wasn't in a position to raise her. This was the last straw for me. The following Friday, I packed as much of mine and my children's necessities as I could into the trunk of my car, packed up our pets, and left. He arrived home shortly after I left and started blowing up my phone. I texted him and said I was leaving to stay with family until things calmed down and our home was no longer a hostile environment. He continued with more threats of taking the kids from me and making sure I got very limited time with them. During this process, he turned into some type of religious fanatic. He keeps calling me the devil repeatedly, speaking about Judgment Day, calling me evil, and telling me that a judge and his attorney were going to tear me apart in court. 3 days later, I was served with an emergency order he had filed, and a few days after that, I received a parentage order and a temporary domestic order. Mind you, this all happened over the course of only 5 days since I had been gone. We had a court date at the end of December. During that court hearing, my ex decided to make up a bunch of lies to try to make me seem like a neglectful parent who was isolating the children from him. He spoke to them 10+ times a day, and I never interrupted or listened in on their time. At the end, the orders were thrown out, and the court officer stated that she believed my ex's behavior was concerning after he openly admitted to verbally abusing me during the last few weeks I was in the home. My ex stated it was okay because the children didn't hear. They were in the next room. Since all of this, I looked further into the bills, as a commenter suggested, stating, "I bet he's paying his bills and neglecting hers." Well, you were right. All of his bills strictly in his name are up to date. The only ones he is refusing to pay are the bills with both of our names on them. He has also taken out a total of over $1,100 in cash advances in my name since I left. I was able to log into all of the accounts he had made, change the passwords, contact support, and prevent it from happening any further. He received a bonus that all service members received last month. I put $1,000 of it toward the car to get caught up on payments as it was around $1,900 behind. He called fraud on this payment, but thankfully I caught it in time and told the bank what was happening, since I am the primary account holder. He has since locked me out of our shared bank account and restricted all of my access. He refuses to pay off the cash advances as well, stating they are your problem now. I have since retained an attorney and filed for divorce. He made a big deal about his lawyer tearing me apart. As it turns out, he doesn't have one. After fighting me for the last few weeks, he has given up. I'm guessing because he doesn't have the money to fight me on this. We have come to a custody agreement. I also started my business back up and things are looking up for us now for those who were stating I needed to work. Thank you to all the Redditors for the harsh truths, reality checks, and honest opinions. I swear some of you have crystal balls and can predict the future. I never saw these horrible escalations coming, and I never dreamed that he would ever speak to me the way that he did during those last few weeks. But anyway, there's a small update. I'll answer any clarifying questions that I can. Thanks again. Here are some clarifying points that people asked about in the original post, so people don't have to look through the comments to find them. My ex is active duty in the military. We don't pay rent or utilities. Our bills total about $1,200 to $1,400 a month. He makes $2,800 a month. I was a stay-at-home mom to 2 children. We never had financial issues to begin with when he was making less money at a lower rank. It only became an issue when he started gambling and eating out multiple times a day. Why didn't I work? Daycare costs a fortune and I didn't want to work just for my entire paycheck to go toward daycare costs. It made no sense to do so. We almost got a divorce about 1.5 years ago due to him cheating. When this happened, he changed the passwords to everything. When we reconciled, I never asked for the new ones. I just trusted that he would pay the bills like he always had. I was encouraged to reach out to his command. I did. They did nothing and said it was a civil matter. I then reached out to the IG who told me the same thing. My family paid for my attorney as I am not in any financial position to afford one. This story honestly seemed insanely comical with each new revelation. It's one thing to start lashing out at your wife for her lack of income after pressuring her to be a stay-at-home mom. The man is straight up just a piece of crap, trying to shovel all of the blame for his own financial foolery onto his wife. I also find it wild that this man had actually cheated about 1 year prior and had the audacity to continue ruining the relationship. The only correct decision in this situation was leaving, and I agree with everything OP did in this story.